Oh shit, 10
How's it
10.
going, guys? We are up and going for everybody that was waiting around for us. I appreciate it. Um, Rocco, man, how you been? Haven't talked to you in a while.
Well, I will rather, the tide has picked up is a pretty good way of saying it. And and as originally we were going to discuss was um, I had been up for a while. It was I have a very hard time with the dates, but I was taken into the astral at one point. But before it all happened, I walked out onto my porch. My ex-girlfriend was in. I walked in. I got on one knee, and all of a sudden, I just boom! I passed out. I was gone completely. I was gone. It was like it felt at first like I was trying to fight to get back to my body, right?
Okay.
But I ended up in the astral. Um, I remember being in a room with a checkerboard looking floor, and two chairs. One gentleman dressed like a doctor, wanting to talk, it looked like. And as I was sitting in the chair, I noticed I started to slump. I remember like my body kind of like just like, I was like, I was just like, I was saying these people's names from what my ex said. I was saying names, and she went Rocco, Rocco, and woke me up. And finally, I finally fell back into my body. I don't know how long I was gone. I don't know what happened. I mean, I did have one escapade not too long ago of 24 hours missing time, where I could have been thrown into a time sink. I could have been sent on a mission, or a false flag. And what they would do is they would do it a couple of days before it actually really happened. You understand? Like, so it would happen 2 or 3 days prior to the day you hear, is what I'm trying to say. So they
How
threw me
much?
in like a time sink.
How much time was missing? Uh, do you know by any chance?
Just got done telling you 24 hours.
Oh, 24. I couldn't hear how many hours you said. You're kind of skipping in and out.
Yeah, 24 hours.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so when I started to wake up, everything seemed like it was, okay. And next thing you know, my throat starts to close. And my ex, Rocco, get up, sink, because Christopher S. Jacobs said, I'm still going to give him credit because you know what? Credit is due where it's due. He explained that when he had an experience like this with the goose situation, he shoved his throat, his mouth around a water faucet and literally almost, what I guess whatever it did is it broke the chemical down. I don't know what happened, but it helps. It helps. Yeah, your stomach hurts. My stomach hurt for days after this. I, I wasn't eating, every day like I should have been. I mean, so much, and I'm still dealing with it at this current moment. Andre will tell you what I was doing on camera with him. I was going around my house and taking handfuls of salt, and I was throwing it because I will not allow demons in my home. They can eat salt or stay out. But my sleep patterns.
Quick question, because you have more experience with this than me. What is there a better kind of salt to use, or does all salt kind of work the same, table salt compared to Epsom?
Salt, I use Epsom salt, actually.
Okay.
Bath salt. Because it's nice and thick in texture, and some of it has like Himalayan crystal in it. You know, so you know, you're yeah, it works well. It works really well. But any salt will definitely, you know, they do not like it. Period. I feel. I don't know, but I do know that about, and I'd say about this was shit. I hope I'm not having missing time. Oh yeah, absolutely. Dead sea salt for sure. The other one, but I'm in the Midwest, and I'm in a situation where I can't just run to the beach and get sea salt.
Oh yeah, sea salt's not that accessible. Sea salt's not that accessible. But what I was gonna say is, yeah, I usually use it when I'm doing stuff with like spiritual practice, whether it's like Ouija boards or something like that. It always helps out. Creates a barrier.
Yeah. Also, hematite for those out there who have abduction experience. Sleep with a hematite piece next to your bed. And I haven't had well, it's gone now, but I didn't have any abductions, no marks, no nothing. I woke up clear-minded. So what it basically does is I think that it actually, because it's iron, it's very strong. It's iron oxide, so it's a pretty I mean, it's fairly priced. I mean, you know, it's not expensive. You could probably get a good size piece for $10-11, man. I mean, if it's gonna help, or some people prefer bracelets before you go to sleep, or you wear that bracelet all day long, and it keeps it away, the abductions. But I am being told that I was taken. I wish I had the messages right in front of me, but I don't. That I was abducted, and it was some kind of like AI or military, and also Christopher was talking about how I had a alien attachment, and it was hell for him to remove, and I felt it. I literally felt doing work on me. More memories have come back as time has gone on. But I've learned that, you know, you don't necessarily have to talk about all those memories. You can talk about some of it, and then it's just when I rehatch some of it, I relive it. Unfortunately, I'm at that point now where.
Do you feel like a weight off of you when after this work's done? Like whatever it is detached, or how does that work?
Oh yes, oh yes. Well, what happens usually with me when I'm doing work with Christopher, uh, I it's 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 intense. It's I picture like something attached to your brain and it being ripped completely out of you etherically. You still feel the feeling of it etherically. Yeah, I mean, feel the feeling. The first time he did work on me, he said to me, he said, "Now, Rocko, I can't, promise that you're not going to have any memories." And, clear up the point, I had a memory right away about Montauk. And then it was about, there was a drain cap, and the drain cap was opened. And I was told, me and about, I want to say 3, maybe 4 others I can remember off the top of my head. We were told to go down the ladder. And this ladder led into an underground tunnel system. I'm also retrieving memories of a place called Sagamore Hills Psychiatric Center in Long Island, New York. And you can go on like different. I'll send you the messages later, Jacob. They're interesting, or I'll send them to Andre and have him send them. But it's not interesting in a way of being interesting. It's just like they say, don't send your kids to this place for the preschool, because what they're going to do to these kids is they're going to split their minds. See, and this is fairly like 2018-ish was, when some of these writings came out. Now, this place has been, it's been closed, but the televisions are still on. The lighting is still on. And there still is an underground tunnel system with rooms that I actually remember, quote unquote, like a trip chair, or, a dentist looking chair, or, just being highly drugged on, different drugs, like, overdosed on several different medications. When that was brought to my attention, it was funny because Sagamore, and then you got Shadmore Park in Montauk. So is there a correlation there? Is there some kind of correlation with that? Because I do know that there were rituals.
Do you know what year that other place started? The Sagamore place?
I want to say I was about, 12 when I was taken through there. Now, keep in mind, I've also have found out that I have been in programs through Sean Bond as well, and he remembers my soul from all these different. When he read my Acoustic Records, he remembered my soul being in Montauk, being in Atlantis, being in Egypt, also Soul Family type stuff, and also that I am like a cousin to Max Spears, and that's why like there's such that I feel like I've always felt like there was a connection between me and him, but unfortunately, due to things that he was going through, we never really got to talk. He had very few words, but he did come through in spirit on Christopher Jacobs' show. We were supposed to do a show the 12th. Maybe we might. I hope we do. And it was supposed to be released Max Spears December 22nd of this year. And it was going to be dedicated to the one and only Max Spears. And I bet it still does happen. But, you can't cry over spilt milk. And, I'm learning that now. I'm learning that little by little, picking up on that. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you want to talk behind my back, you can go ahead and talk behind my back. I'm at the point where it is about me and my kids. I'll do radio shows from time to time and whatnot, but I feel like this community has been infiltrated by quite a bit, and it's pretty scary. It really is. The infiltration part, because you can have a lovely woman in your home, and next thing you know, they're controlled to control you. You understand? So then when you try to break from it, they do this thing called the V2K, the voice situation where you're no good, Rocko. You should just go, exactly. So it's annoying, but it's like, I call it chatter in the head, and I try to block it out, and it goes all day long sometimes.
Is it the same like when somebody's attacking you without knowing it? Like, what is it? What's the difference in feeling for somebody that doesn't understand those feelings?
Well, the is it's kind of, to me, is like a headache because it's inside my head and it's a voice that they've created. You understand? That is voice to skull technology, and that voice to skull technology is to send you off the cliff, is to send you to a jail cell, is to veer you off of your spiritual, and a lot of times they'll use it to separate an individual, or whatever the case may be, or you're not going to get this job, and you hear that voice in your head saying, I'm not going to get this job. Rocko, you're not going to get that job. Rocko, you're not going to make it in life. Rocko. And they repeat themselves over and over. So it's like, repetitiveness sometimes kind of throws my balance kind of off a little bit. And that's one thing that I'm learning is the yin and the yang, and balance is key. And sometimes I feel like my head is off my shoulders. So it's like I mean, some of the experiences that I've been having are quite intense. I'm not gonna lie, man. Feeling of heart attack, feeling that I'm going to die. Writing and letting people know what to say if this happens or that happens. I'm going through a phase right now, so it's like, oh, Andre, I'm getting future visions.
Hopefully you're writing them down, Andre, and at least recording them.
Andre. But it is rough on the body. It definitely is rough on the body. Some days I wake up and I feel like my legs are 100 pounds each. You know what I mean? And I go to get up and I barely can stand. My arms hurt, or my ribs hurt, or I wake up with a weird cough. To me, it's like whatever is going on in the astral, when I'm in the astral, or if I'm in possibly another dimension, because I was easily able to access, a portal, and once I open that portal and I walk through that portal, it's like, sometimes it's a risk. It's a risk taker, just like anything else that you do with this. Even speaking about this, that's why I said I'm not going to play the name game, because with certain things, but, and it's because of, maybe one of these days we'll go down that rabbit hole. But watch the last interview of Max Spears. If anybody is interested in what he talks about with the numbers, like cabs in the UK, you call 666 666, and it's written like that on the cab. Just like he said, 9/11 has something to do with 8 o'clock. He's like very well the numbers, like the number part of everything. Like he understands that to, a really good, degree. But it was his last interview, and that's all I'm really gonna disclose about that.
Is that
but also?
Quick question: is that the one where he's sitting in a living room?
Well, he wasn't even on video.
Okay, I've seen a lot of Max's interviews.
Sitting in a chair. Last interview ever. He was just sitting in a chair outside, and you can hear in his voice that something is wrong. Slurring words, all kinds of stuff going on. I kept hearing every time, in this episode, I keep hearing that. In this last interview, I heard a lot of that, and I'm wondering to myself, what is this noise, and why aren't they showing him on camera?
Did he have the same voice characteristics to you, or do you think it was different? Did you notice anything in his voice?
I did notice he did seem like he was, drunk on something. Yeah. To answer your question there, yeah. And the doctor, it's out already. They spoke about it. It was he threw up, I believe, 2 gallon or so of like a brown liquid. They had said, but he also had that fever for I think 24 hours or something, and I don't know why. I don't see. Anyways, you can watch Fractured and take it from there. It's on YouTube. It was on BBC. And you can hear the Max Spears story there as well.
Yeah, I watched Fractured.
He was a very well-known individual. Very well. And for somebody like him to just jump from the UK to the United States, not having a job, not employed, not anything, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? He was into, getting the truth out. That's just it, is getting the truth out. And that's one thing I liked about him, was he always wanted to tell the truth. And he always stayed heart-centered. And, sometimes no, man, and it has nothing with that. That's disinformation. I'm going to stand up for Vanessa Bates on this show, man. I'm going to stand up for her. I speak to her. She's a friend of mine. No, it was not that. I cannot tell you what it was. And you won't figure it out. It's not your lane, brother. And, no disrespect, but as soon as I mentioned it, you wanted to go research it and start posting stuff. You don't know who you're dealing with. I'll say the name because the man's gone. Michael Aquino, he was involved with. He had an involvement with and knew about the Temple of Set and knew about these different occultic, things that were going on. This man was a target, complete. Like the word target and sign target was on the man's back 24 hours, 7 days a week. He had at least 4 agents following him on a regular basis.
Oh, we're sorry to hear that.
I don't.
Raquel, I hope you feel better. Said I have a heart problem and it caused my left face swollen up since last night. I hope you feel better.
Ooh.
Drink some water.
I'll send healing energy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot of people are getting attacked, even though I'm starting to believe that, like, we're going through it almost feels like we're moving into, different, like, a whole bunch of different things, RIP to Max Spears, but yeah, man, I'd stay out of that lane because Vanessa, the mother of Max, she gets very pissed off when people make up, allegations. Okay. The man, it's all public knowledge. It's all public knowledge. However, some of it is not public knowledge, nor will it ever be public knowledge, I'm sure. Well, if I crack the case, which I believe that one of the individuals that were involved was also involved with my situation as well.
Someone involved in
but black goo you could be psychically attacked with. Black goo is not a game. It's not something to be playing around with. It is very dangerous, and I have to say, but if you're dibbling and dabbling in this stuff, don't be surprised if you get hit with it. Don't be surprised. Just know to get yourself, from what I've learned, is to a water spigot. So you crap out of you and shove your hand down your throat and get that out of you as fast as possible, as much as possible. Because to me, it's almost like this chemical will actually in other words, it will like eat your whole insides out, is what I feel. I feel like it's a parasitic thing. Yes, aliens, yeah, I've heard, carry it as well. Now, however, I believe psychically, once again, people can psychically have the gift, or not gift. I mean, it's a gift and a curse at the same time, because what is done sometimes is it's done maliciously. It's done to try to take out an ally or an important individual that knows enough information that they don't want that information out there. So they're going to do whatever they want to do. Like right now, I'm getting attacked a little bit. But that's okay. Just reset yourself a little bit.
Let me know if you need me, if I can do anything to help.
Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth actually helps me lighten up quite a bit. Also shrinking it and shrinking it down, it's smaller, bringing it from something big to something, small, and then, Sean buzz along with that. I don't prefer to get involved with demons myself, even though I've had to. Hey, what's he saying? This was not Operation Warsaw, man. What are you talking about, man? See, that's what I mean. You don't know what you're talking about. I can't say what it's about. All I'm going to say is snuff. That's it. And if anybody in the channel knows what I'm talking about, they'll exactly understand what I'm saying. That's all the most important thing, he was going to expose a lot of stuff. A lot. And you know what? He did what he could do. And
you know who I also point to that got snuffed out? Phil Schneider. He also got put in the same box.
Yeah.
Phil Schneider is usually my go-to person that when I think of a whistleblower that that got silenced.
Yeah,
He's the guy
yeah.
that
I remember the screen. I remember seeing that. I was like, whoa. I
Well, I mean,
remember him telling the story about the base and everything. I was like, whoa, dude. You must have plowed into the wrong base.
I'll probably get.
Yeah,
I'll probably
you must have drilled in or whatever to the wrong place.
I could get watched for saying this, but at the same time, it's impossible to strangle yourself to death with like an oxygen cord.
Oh,
What
yeah.
would happen? You would
I
pass
know.
out,
Yeah,
and then your body would revive itself. So it's interesting how his demise added up.
Well, yeah, it's very interesting how a lot of them are adding up. And, you know, it's like now we're finding out. Like, the more we find out, that to me, I feel that the world needs to know this stuff. I feel that parents need to know that their children could possibly be taken and used for things that are horrible, horrifying. And then, but see, like Max Spears says, the trauma starts within the womb, is where it starts. So, interestingly enough, I mean, he woke up at, I think it was 2008. But he was in his 30s when he woke up to this stuff. Like, I mean, you know, growing up, not remember, you know, he might have or he might not have. I don't know the whole thing. Thank you. It's an enjoyable topic, but it's also can be touchy at times. Can be very touchy.
Yeah, no, I don't think he means it's good to hear about these, you know, these tragedies, but it's good to hear people talking about them, you know.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. The more you talk about it, I feel like it helps you release too a lot of toxic energy that's built up inside of you. You know, like some mornings I wake up and there's no reason for me to be angry, but I'm full of anger. So what I've learned now is, okay, I'm just going to leave my phone alone until I, you know, settle, you know, and calm the you know, storm a little bit, because it's like somebody could say, oh, the wrong guy, and I because of my programming, I snap right into that alter state, and I could say some, you know, not nice things and totally forget what I said, and someone else has to repeat it to me, and I'm still sometimes half like, wait a minute, is this, you know, I'm questioning it. I'm definitely questioning the fact of everything, because I don't know, and that's another really traumatizing thing too, is to have missing time and not remember what you did, where you went, were you sent on a special ops mission, were you sent, you know, there's a million things that could be done. Like Christopher said, what did he say? He said something about see what the hell. Can you try to retract me there a little bit? What we were talking about?
Yeah, you were talking about. Well, I had a question for you, but you were talking about what Christopher had said to you. But what I was going to bring you back to was you were talking about people warning their well, being worried about their kids, and this could happen to them. I was going to ask you if you were around the same idea as some of the OGs in like Montauk, where it's these kids that are actually disconnected and don't really seem to have a family, the kind of outcasts. And I was almost wondering if it would be a good idea for parents to make sure you have that good connection with your kids, so that you know what they're up to. You like, because if they're getting the stragglers and the people that are considered outcasts, does it help as a parent to be more involved and stuff like that?
Well, see, there's sometimes, unfortunately, and this is why a lot of survivors have a hard time. But either having military connection, through family and through bloodline, and or if you are a special type of person, like that has certain abilities that are you're a quote unquote special needs kid or whatever. It really doesn't matter, because once the parent signs the permission slip for that individual or the child to go wherever they're going, it ends up, it's out of the hands. And what happens is the kid might not remember this till he's in his 30s, but this happened to him when he was in high school. So it's kind of like waking up at the desk and drool and not remembering what happened. I mean, yeah, it is a good thing. I do keep a really close eye on my kids. And I my child's mom does the same thing. She's really good with the children. Yeah, I mean, it is good to have a good relationship with your kids so they don't go wander off and get possibly pulled into a vehicle, or anything could happen. Because at this point they're just looking for brains to use, I believe, and see how far they could push it, even if it's not of a blood type. Or I think that they're just using people, and I think that that's part of the torture. I think that they want to torture people, especially kids. They enjoy it. And it's sad. It's really it's something.
I found the horrible correlation that you might be able to relate to. Have you seen the Pixar movie Monsters Inc.?
I don't really watch movies.
It's a kids cartoon, and what these
right.
these monsters do in a parallel dimension is they harvest people's screams and their fear, is basically what they do, and they store up the energy created by their fear and basically their screams and everything else. That I'm assuming they're almost harvesting like adrenaline or something, because eventually they learn that they can also do it.
Yes.
They eventually learn that they can also do it from excitement as well. And I just think, what a weird concept to put into a kid's cartoon.
Well, that's why I said it's very seldom I watch something on television, because it's like now I'll watch something from when I was a kid and I see the programming. I see what's going on. Like I was watching a superhuman samurai thing, saying to the kid, he wrote a number and said, "When did this happen?" And like they were trying to get him the remote view. It seemed like. That's what I picked up. Of
Did
that.
they have any luck getting him to remote view?
I don't know. It was just like very weird how it was like he put it on his head and flipped it around. You know what I mean? Like so, it's like they're reverse. It's like numbers saying before, like okay, so uh it's when was it? Oh, there was a date. I think Max's birthday is the 22nd of December.
Oh, okay.
But
a few days after
me. Yeah. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep. Well, I have been learning. Well, I learned a little bit about channeling, and and sometimes the spirits will come to you in your sleep, and they'll ask you questions, or and sometimes I'm like, no, no, I'm not dealing with this. Too much chatter in the head. But it was funny because the day after Montauk Day, ready? Okay, August 12th, Max Spears showed up. On Christopher Jacobs' show, he was channeled in.
And what did he do?
He answered questions. What happens with the channeling is sometimes as they're trying to speak through you, they will mess with your voice box. Sometimes they will make you sound differently, or or sound like that person, or it all depends. It's not something I'm telling people, oh yeah, just go out and try it. You know what I mean? Like, because I've been hit by it, and me and Max have been talking quite a bit.
When you're channeling somebody, do they usually leave willingly, or is it something you kind of have to have an agreement on, or how does that work?
Well, I feel and I sense right now that Max Spears is in this room right now, fully dressed in his fatigues. The white t-shirt, dog tags, and he just laughed. Okay. All right. I know who you are. All right. Yep. I started getting really warm. I noticed that with him. So did Christopher. It heated up like a stove when he came in. So it's they don't really bother me. He doesn't. It seems like, okay, you're here, you're in spirit. I always ask him if he has any requests for his mom, to say to his mom. That's one thing I do. I respect the woman highly. I really hope that this Sheree and, demonic mind trap on several other people. I believe possibly Christopher might be being programmed right now, and didn't know it, because what happened was he got hit after he took whatever it was from me off of me. So it might have ricocheted, and he could be in a soldier or state of mind, or he could be not Christopher right now. I don't know. Because I no matter what, would work with him, because he's showed me a lot of things. But because of choices that I make for my own well-being and my children, if that's going to interfere with a friendship, that's pretty sad. That's really, really sad. After I've promoted the individual over and over, my mom has purchased something off of him. She wanted to purchase more off of him. My ex has been ramming my mother's cell phone with nasty messages. She's contacting everybody on Facebook. Calling me a demon, calling me evil, calling me disgusting, calling me that, playing the mind games. And see, as I grow, I get stronger and stronger every day. So it's like, I don't let it faze me. It doesn't bother me. If a person is going to believe one side of a story, then 9 times out of 10, they're probably lying about something. Because there's always 2 sides to the story.
Yeah.
And usually when only one side is being heard, and not being looked at, especially when it comes to somebody's health and their well-being, and could potentially harm themselves. And all I do is try to care, and then I help you move everything back to your vehicle. And then I get a slammed car door in my face after I help. How do you think that makes me feel? But it doesn't bother me anymore, does it? I'm not going to lose sleep anytime soon. I mean, I lose sleep, but I'm not going to, be stressed over this too long. I'm not. I've let go, and I feel the energy lifting right now. It feels like it's kind of in sync, which is pretty good. But I mean, I like Christopher. I think he's a good guy. I just think that, maybe he needs to look at Christopher before he starts pointing fingers at Rocko, and get the full story and get every single bit of information that I have tacked. And I understand when people get upset about saying something about, oh, you broke up because of money. You wanted money. Christopher, I have all the Cash App receipts that I sent to the individual. I didn't beg her for money. She stayed with me for 3 months almost. June 5th, we started dating. A week or two after that, I'll give it maybe 2 weeks after that, she moved right on in. And I never asked her for a dime. Not once did I ask her for a dime. So that's a blatant lie. She's harassing my family. She needs to stop. The kid games need to stop. I tried to help, and obviously it just didn't work out. And I tried to leave on good terms, but now I'm frightened to stay in my own home at night. Now I'm not, because I had my key changed today. So, like, what else am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just sit there and allow somebody to, I'm sorry, but, when you live with somebody, you don't just go in and think that you can live there and do whatever you want, and it's your house, and you take over my children's room and say, oh, my cat's in my room. No, not your cat's in your room. My children's room is what it is. And that's what did it. And going through a person's cell phone while they're asleep, that's what really pulled the straw. Yeah, I'm saying it. Yeah, I'm exposing it. And it's okay. You can send all the hateful messages that I see you, whatever. It is what it is. I really don't care. I really don't. But please, leave Vanessa Bates alone. That's my one request. Because I'm telling you now, she's going to turn around and she's going to tell you where to go. She's going to tell you where to go. This SSP program, it seems, is, the stories are changing left and right when it comes to the Max Spears situation, where I told the mother about somebody saying that they were involved. Yeah. Yep. But anyways, the story was switched around. Yeah, the stories just switch around. Way too much, I think.
I mean, and from an outsider's perspective, none of us really know, what happened. We can only take the two sides for it. I mean, for the one side, whatever side we get.
I spoke with his mother about that, and that's why she sent me, a bunch of photos. It was going to be a really good show. It was going to be a really good show, and now who knows what's going to happen? I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna get myself a. No big deal. It's really no big deal.
if it's meant to still happen, it'll happen.
It will. Yeah, yeah. But that was a really scary situation that happened to me. I'm not going to lie. I was freaked out. I didn't sleep. I didn't go to bed till about 5 a.m. The next day after that. Or no, it was like almost 7 in the morning. I made a pot of coffee because I was like, I can't, I'm not going to go back to sleep now. I'm afraid that I'm going to get pulled back up. And this time I'm not going to make it to the sink. 11:11. Wow.
Yeah, what it is right now. 11:11.
So, what's that?
I said, is that what it is right now for us? Me and you, 11:11.
Yep.
Yep. Both of us. Oh man.
And it was weird. I got at 11 listening to the Max Spears interview, the last interview, I should say, if anybody's wants to look it up. But it is a bit creepy because if you listen to him on any other show, the sound and the voice, it's like the opposite. He slips a couple of times. They asked him if he was being targeted or hacked during the interview, and he said he's feeling it. Yeah. So like this is, but we're talking about an individual that was going from the dark of the dark. Like that was his thing. I mean, he wanted people to know the truth, just like anything else. It's always good to know the truth.
Yeah. That's true.
It's always good to know the truth. But then again, the truth hurts. Sometimes.
Well, cheers, my dude.
Yeah. Does Andre want to jump on?
Oh yeah, Andre, you're welcome to jump on. Here's the link in case Andre doesn't have it. Only Andre will be coming on, so I don't mind sharing it. Oh. But if he's still hanging out there, he's more than welcome to join us. Figure we got maybe another half hour tops.
Yeah.
I already did 7.5 hours today, just kind of hanging out.
Golly.
Yeah, I was playing video games and listening.
So
to music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wasn't so much work. Just kind of hanging out, enjoying everybody's company,
Right. But
I appreciate.
I think that
like 10 people watching. I appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah. So let's see. So yeah, I did that with Sean Bond, and that was like a really railroad, like hit you in the face, like 2x4 type ordeal. And knowing that I have so many lives, according to Christopher S. Jacobs, I have trillions of past lives. and that he had to remove some nasty stuff inside of me, and they weren't happy, so they abducted me, and I guess I got my labbed, and which is military abduction for those who don't know. And I don't remember anything. I have no memory of any of it. None.
Are the
Zero.
MyLabs like a physical abduction, or can they also be mental, like described in like the Montauk Project, where they came into people's room mentally?
Well, they can open up a portal in front of your bed, hop out, grab you, pull you in the portal. When they're done doing what they're doing, jump you right back out and throw you in, you're right back in your bed, and you wake up in your bed. But now you could have been gone for years. You could have been gone for months. You could have been gone for a couple of weeks. It's it's endless. It's endless. So it's like I'm starting to not even look at clocks anymore, because it's like an hour seems like it's nothing anymore. Really, it's like it goes by so fast, and I definitely think that we are in for some surprises, and hopefully that we will be able to get this out there as far as snuff goes, and that type of stuff that needs to be out, and the world needs to know. And I mean, a lot of them are getting busted, but a lot aren't.
I think the people that are getting busted are the fall guys. I don't think the serious players are getting busted.
Yep. Oh yes. Absolutely. You're 100% on that one. Wow. Interesting. Yeah.
And that's with everything.
And
it's not even just what we're
talking about. And camera people too.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of companies that do filming are entangled in this mess of what they call agents. One thing Christopher said, he said this. He said, "There's the creepy part. More agents than allies."
Well, and I mean, depending on how it's getting pushed, you don't really need that many agents if the agent narrative is getting pushed more than the others. Hey, Brett.
No, hey, more Brett. In the community.
Sorry about that.
More in the community is what I'm saying.
Oh, in the community. Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. But there are high up that are obviously pushing this agenda. So, it's almost like they want us to run each other off the side of the road. Any which way possible. They want that. like for some reason I get this really intuitively, like it's like I feel like Chris is kind of stuck a little bit, in between a rock and a hard place, because him and my ex, we're close, yes, and I think that I'm picking up that he's going to eventually come back around, and I'm like envisioning right now, like like a meet kind of, and just shaking hands, and let the bygones be the bygones, and let's fight against the force of evil, and prevail, and continue to move forward, and not allow nasty things to happen. If you see something going on, report it or get involved.
Well, yeah, I mean, and there's no reason to hold, like you were saying, pick sides or hold grudges. Like, if you can move on past something, why not?
Yeah, because it's going to build a bigger empire. Because every time we defeat them, we get stronger. Every time we break the programming, we get stronger. And they don't like that, because then they don't have as easy as a pull on you. Yeah, they might freak you out, which, I mean, I'm not like saying it was not a serious situation. No, it was scary. It was a very scary situation. And not feeling like I could walk to the sink from the bed. I was just, it hit me. It hit me afterwards, and I was like, whoa, like I literally drowned myself just to, like, and it come in and pushed it. It felt like literal, like that stuff being pushed down my throat into my stomach area, and then, of course, eventually it will discharge somehow. And, at least the stomach acids will break it up, and, you know what I mean? The immune system will do its job. But the thing is if it gets caught in a certain part of your throat, and especially if you're just laying on a couch, or you're just, and there's more to just laying on a couch. But
Well, yeah, and I feel like when you're laying on your back, depending on how it takes you over, I mean, just like anything else, if you're laying on your back, it's going to definitely clog you up a little faster than if you were laying on your face or anywhere else.
oh no, if it hits me, it's taking me one way or another, or I'm fighting, and it's weird because I'm like in a, like, kind of like, I don't know, lucid type feeling going on, and I'm half asleep but half awake type thing, and it's like I myself, and I'm like laying there trying to sleep, and I almost see, it's almost like I see myself sleeping, and they're trying to pull me up, like it can get wild. It can definitely get wild.
So do you feel vulnerable that that you're open to people like Max? And do you ever worry about other people stepping in, pretending to be Max or anything like that?
Uh, I'm tired of the lies with his story.
Well, no, no,
And
no. Like when
you know,
what I mean is when you were talking about channeling, and you talk about where he can almost take over your voice box and stuff like that. Like there has to be a little bit of voluntary possession going on there for him to be able to have that capability. It's a willingness from you, and then almost an agreement from
oh
him.
yeah, I have to give permission.
So
I have to give
when
permission.
you do that, are you vulnerable to other entities, or is it just Max that's allowed to enter?
It's just I just allow Max. And when I just allow Max, it's more like actually a really good feeling. In a way, it's a good feeling when he's around. It's a strong energy. I will tell you that much. And yeah, the room does heat up. You don't need a heater with him around. Um, you don't. You definitely don't need heat. I
I have
mean, there are people that to be anybody. I mean, but when you're actually learning how to channel and learning, how to connect, it's just it's like asking. It's kind of like if something appears in your dream, ask it. If you feel comfortable, or just don't even. I've had people pop up in my dreams where some of them I won't even associate with.
I uh I think I've talked to you about this before. I have a very I don't know, interesting energy with my hands. I have some kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I call it channeling or what I would call it, but it's specifically with my hands, and that's why a lot of mediums were trying to get me to use Reiki and dowsing rods rather than like a Ouija board, because a Ouija board is where I seem to have the most influence. But I've always wondered what the safest route is, because for some reason I feel like my hands can actually generate heat. It's a really strange um, feeling, and like when I describe it to people, that I can literally hold my hand over the pendulum on a Ouija board. Nobody else has to touch it, and it can move by itself. And they go, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I can record it for you. Like I can make a live of it." And everybody was like, "No way," because they'll think I'm faking it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you're gonna get that no matter what. You're always gonna get the skeptic, and that you're
But
gonna get that. But it's like
but I
when
don't necessarily know that the energy that I'm harnessing or channeling is good energy. That's where that's where I make the biggest mistakes, especially with using something like a Ouija board. You kind of voluntarily welcome a lot of things in. You have a lot more control over the vessel that you're using for channeling, if it's your body. Um,
yeah,
when you're using a store bought board or something you created in your house or something like that, it's a little different and it doesn't have the same control. That's why I
oh
always
yeah,
tell people.
yeah. I get what you're. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely get what you're saying there, because there are a lot of people that do that and they end up having like unwanted spirits and not happy around them, and everything goes to hell.
Oh yeah, man.
It's not. It's definitely not. And I really like to do all the time. Um, I'm learning and working it, and it's not something that I want to do all the time. It's like uh, there are people that do it all the time, and it's rather wearing, not only on your voice box, but because you're allowing this spirit. It seems to, when they're using your voice box, it's death inside it's crossed over, but here it is speaking through you in a way. And there's several different, ways. Some people look into, or they'll do it through a crystal. There's so many different ways.
Did I ever? Yeah. There's a bunch of different ways to harness that energy or look into it.
And then remote viewing has been pretty.
I'm saying same thing. It's remote viewing is that same thing. It's crystal gazing. You can remote view from a lot of different scenarios.
Yep. Absolutely.
Did I ever?
I think when I get around too much shungite, that'll really make you go a little wacky.
What's shungite?
It's an earth element. It's I believe it's like a crystal. It's like a powdered form.
I don't know what water scrying is. What's water scrying, Chase? What are you referring to? Yeah,
you might be referring to shungite.
But I don't know if I've ever told you. I talked to. Well, I'm 100% convinced that I talked to the Grim Reaper. Physically, me and two other people, and we thought of it. We thought it was a joke when it first happened. I didn't realize it was serious.
But not a joke.
Oh no. Well, so we're talking to somebody, and they identified themselves as Grim, and we go, ha ha, yeah, Grim. Okay, your name's Grim. And what we did is we flipped over the board in the middle of the day, didn't close it properly, didn't do anything properly, and the person wanted to warn us.
Oh no!
He wanted to warn somebody in the room about an upcoming death, and it had to do with him. And we didn't think anything of it. We flipped over the board and left. A month later, one of my best friends got in a car accident and killed somebody on Christmas. And then he called me and he said, "Hey, do you remember when we used that board? And so-and-so was trying to talk to us about this." And I was like, "Yeah, I remember." I was like, "Holy shit, like what? Did we really talk to somebody that was telling us
Yeah,
about
yeah. Right.
We've had this happen
right
several times. And I don't know. I have this, like I said, I don't talk about it that much just because it makes me sound very woo-woo. And people understand, people that do talk to me understand why I'm able to communicate with people about touchier topics, just because I've actually been through enough freaky shit on my own.
Right.
That a lot of people don't understand, and I couldn't explain if I wanted to.
No, yeah, it's very hard to explain some of these experiences, and then sometimes it's like you don't even really you have a hard time. Well, for me, with my experiences, like remembering things or whatever it is. There's so many different things, and like Andre before said, fight that demon, Rocko, fight him, you're strong. And, we need people like that in this world. We need people like that, because if you're dealing with the evil entity inside your home and you're really getting anxious and you're having anxiety attacks or panic attacks, usually something is unsettled. And if it's unsettled, that means, to me, like, I like how Christopher called his channel The Uplifting, is they need to be placed on the other side, is what needs to be done. So now, like, that's why I'd like to, stay good with Christopher. But, like I said, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because he's good at doing that. He did it for my father, by the way. And that was pretty wild.
So this is a handmade one, so I can't show the names that I put on the back of it, because like I told you, that I kind of agreed with you with, names are power, and a lot of people don't understand that. So I put certain names on my board that I don't want to come forward, people that I don't want to talk to, and what I do is I put their name on there with a line through it, and it seems to work pretty well for not having them come through. That's why I thought it was interesting when you told me you don't use certain names, because I think names are power. I think it validates a certain power in somebody. Relate to that.
You give them power.
Yeah, it's a weird thing for me. Like this topic, I don't, like I said, I don't really talk about it that much. But this is where I can kind of relate to you, Rocko, is with stuff like this, is because, like, this is always an arm's length away from me. It's something I always have around me, mainly just because I use it to keep things away from my house. Yeah, I have a weird way of approaching spiritual beings and how to keep them away from my plane of existence.
Wow, my hand is buzzing right now. My hand is literally buzzing. It feels like energy moving through it. That's cool.
I can like,
That's really...
I'm pretty sure I can send heat waves if I try to, but with the things that I've talked about, and I've heard you talk about before, I wouldn't want to do that to somebody and them not expect it, and that's why I try to do stuff like that.
Or get in somebody's head, or because this stuff is it, and people are like, I get in my head. What do you mean? And it's like, it's hard to explain it to some people.
She was talking about scrying. She said the act of looking into a crystal, water, or another type of portal.
Yeah. I'm just actually, getting like, I feel way more rounded now than ever. It's definitely something that helps. I'm learning the basic breathing exercises. There's all different kinds of ways. I've broken a part of my programming that they don't like, and that's the part where I get really angry. No, I just don't care anymore. I don't. I'm not gonna push an issue. I'm just gonna leave it alone.
There's another friend of mine that has the same ability of mine, but it's almost like the exact opposite. And like I usually call her the yin to my yang when we're doing stuff when it comes to spirituality, because I mean, just to give you a brief description of her, when she dreams, nobody has faces. It's all in black and white, and nobody has faces.
Uh,
And when it comes to what we're doing on boards, me and her can like we can be away from the board, not touching it at all, ask questions, and we'll get the answers to our questions 100% right. So the three people that are using the board that aren't us are coming up with answers that only we know the answer to. Like it's insane stuff. Like it's something like really weird. Like I could do these on live and be like, okay, here's the answer. I could type it, via the chat. But I mean, then people would assume that they were reading the chat. Like you could have people like on a Ouija board and no phones next to them because we don't usually use electronics when we're doing it, and I can blow people's mind. It's something insane, but all the times I've tried to prove it to people, it turned out really bad. It turned out really bad for all the people around. Usually somebody like
yeah.
one of my close friends got almost suffocated across their chest, and immediately we threw on the lights and we looked, and they had red marks all over their chest and their throat. And yeah, it's just wild stuff. I don't think people understand the power behind just the simplest things.
Yeah, and names is a big one.
Yeah, that's true.
When your passive hand receives its power to life. Yes. Absolutely. But yeah, no.
What are you drinking on tonight? Coffee or tea?
Huh?
So what you drinking on? Coffee or tea?
Coffee right now.
Nice.
I actually later on gotta do something. I think I might have to go over to a friend's house.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I really don't want to, but I offered, so. But yeah, man. Do you have any crystals now?
The only crystals I keep around my house are to balance energy. So I'll use like salt crystals just to kind of keep a balance, because if anything, I would always consider myself hanging more towards the negative side. So it's always good to have a counterbalance nonetheless. Just on the hippie side of my mind, I always try to, no matter if it's drama, no matter if it's like negative energy, I don't try to carry it around. That's why I've always told you, like, whatever I experience on the internet, I try to separate myself from that in my real life.
Right. Duality.
I can't let stuff that I can't influence or change weigh me down.
No, you can't.
You have a question.
Nobody can.
You have a question, Rocko. Don't take it
Who's
personal. That? It's from Schmidt. But he wanted to present a question.
Absolutely, positively, fucking not. When I'm done with somebody from now on, I am done. That's it. When you cross the line and you take me as a joke, and you make me look like a fucking fool, I'm going to make you look even foolish. And no, you're not getting my story, Pesci. Nope, not happening, buddy. You had your chance, Mr. Psychiatrist. You had your chance. But you talked a lot of fucking shit. And you let people talk about meth pipe, all kinds of shit with me, and did memes with me. And poor little Andre had nothing to do with it. And you're sticking him in these pictures. Nah, not cool, Pesci. Not cool at all, man. That's where you crossed the line.
Hey, I got.
And that line, it's crossed. That's it. It's done.
I want you to read this next comment too, because I want to address it. He said, "Hey, Indiana Jake, why are you going to other shows making fun of Rocko, reporting everyone that he is seeing helicopters following him? You think it's funny, and Jacob, you know they do this, but you want to be taken serious." So the reason I talk to Rocko and I don't tell people what to do on their channel is because it's their channel. I'm not going to go on there and tell them what they can and can't talk about. I would tell them, hey, you're never going to have Rocko on as a guest. This is why you can't interview Rocko. You can go ask anybody. I've told them that if you treat people with disrespect, you're not going to be able to interview them. I've never treated Rocko with disrespect, and he'll tell you firsthand. I don't have to answer that. Like, I know what he'll say. Rocko may have his disagreements with me about a lot of things, but at the same time, I've never thrown Rocko under the bus, nor will I ever. I've never done that with Andre. I've never done it with Jake Hudson. I've never done it with a lot of people. Like, that's what I try not to do. But I don't expect people to take me seriously.
And yes, I have videos. I have plenty of videos of helicopters. And they are Black Hawk or Black Ops helicopters flying above my house in South Carolina. So, Pesci can laugh at all of this stuff, but the truth of the matter is I know what happened to me. I was taken as a child and things were done to me, horrendous things. And if I feel like I want to tell somebody on a radio show and I feel comfortable, then I'll go on your show. But if you're going to get on there with a pen and a pad and start acting like you're going to get over on me, which, by the way, I spent 4 years in prison too, Mr. Pesci boy. So there you go. And I spent time in Clinton, Attica, and Sing Sing. Tap me on that one, pal. Tap me on that one, because your little prisons ain't shit compared to New York State. I'll tell you that right now. You want to talk about eating fuck cardboard and put in a box smelling piss and shit. Yeah, man. You really did it with me, man. And I don't know why you Smith, Mr. Pastor guy that, pastors don't talk shit about people. They don't call people drug addicts. They're not going to do that. If you're a real pastor, you're not going to do that. That's against the Bible, right? That's against law, right? Of God, right? Yeah. A real good pastor. And I noticed a lot of pastors like to do drugs and drink. So, it is what it is.
So I don't know.
It is what it is.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I always thought if you and Pesci would have done an interview, it would have went a lot better. The only thing I don't think, and I think I've talked to Pesci about this before, I don't think he should have had Granny on that show, because Granny didn't know anything about you. He was asking you about he wanted to ask you about time travel and shit. I think he wanted to ask you about shit that had nothing to do with you. And I get it that Granny wants to have time travel proven to him, but that's his
I know.
Figure out. And CB, when it comes to what you said, I want to be taken seriously. I don't want to be taken seriously. I want to be known as the guy that doesn't judge people for interviews. I'm here interviewing people and letting them tell their story. If you take me seriously, great. If you don't, oh well. Scroll on. Apparently, I'm doing something right because you're still
It,
watching.
exactly. And it carries on a good show when there's good conversation. Um,
And
Pesci
and
as
I actually agree with that, Schmidt. Like I said, I thought Pesci would have done better one on one with Rocco. I don't think Pesci has the people in his community don't necessarily want to hear Rocco's story. I don't think it's. I mean, they're wrestling fans. They're into different things. I just think it's a different audience. But and I've talked to Rocco about this, and I've talked to Pesci about this. I've talked to everybody about this, and I let everybody do their own thing. I gave Rocco my advice. I gave Pesci my advice, and then they're more than welcome to do their own things, and they turned out the way they did. I I tried to talk to everybody about this, but nobody took me seriously when I was talking about it. So now we're in the boat that we're in.
I'm getting so attacked by a lot of things, and I got a reputation, so it's like I can't be, I don't want to get on a show and start screaming because I'm at a point in my life right now where here we go again. You know, little. It's kind of like everything is going. It's like history's repeating itself, and I'm trying to keep my mind away from that, and I'm trying to be more there for my children than the damn alien and super soldier community. Because these people, if I was dying in a car wreck, a lot of them wouldn't give two shits about me. Okay, so that's not, my main concern is getting more connected with my children is what I'm doing. And yeah, I'll radio show here and there, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna do radio shows that are more serious. I'm gonna put out and content that yeah, I might get a helicopter tonight. Who knows? Anything is possible. Anything's possible, and if it happens, it happens.
And Schmidt, I think the best thing for Rocco and Pesci would to be like do a one-on-one offline show, but at the same time, if it gets posted on and joked about afterwards, it kind of defeats the purpose. It's not something that he would want people to go on and joke about right after it happened. Like it's one thing to play nice with somebody for a half hour to an hour and then go on and I'm not saying that Pesci would do that. I'm just saying, would he stop his chat from doing that? Would he stop anybody from coming on panel and doing that? I'm not saying Pesci would. I'm saying he.
Ariel didn't even know me. Ariel didn't even know me and started talking about me. Like, what is wrong with you? Do you need your head checked? Like, it seems like, like Michael McIntosh said, there's counseling for narcissists. I think a lot of people need to go visit those counselors for being narcissistic. I don't even think people realize that they're being narcissists sometimes. To be honest, and I'll be honest, I have narcissistic tendencies. Yes, we all do. And if you can't admit that, then you think you're greater than, and you know what? You're not. You're as small as you're like a grain of sand, or you're a speck of sand on a beach. That's really what we are here. We're so small compared to everything else. It's we're here and then we're gone.
I 100%. I consider myself a horrible narcissist, and I actually battle with that all the time. I do whatever I can not to let my ego get in front of me. I do whatever I can to get
Mm-hmm.
myself to an ego death every once in a while, and people look at me like I'm crazy just because I chase the death of my ego, and people don't understand why I do it, and they judge me for it. But it's only because I don't want my ego getting in front of me.
Right. And you know what? That is good to know. That's a good thing to do. It really it is. Because sometimes we got to put ourselves in check because especially in this stuff, conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, your head can blow up because when you start figuring out things and you start saying, holy crap, what a synchronicity. Holy crap, what a synchronicity. And you just keep going and keep going and keep going. And, sometimes you're having these you get really good photos of UFOs. Like Pesci said, yeah, I have pictures of UFOs. I've been sent pictures to Pesci. And he still did what he did. I did not have to do that. I did not have to do that. I felt highly disrespected.
It's funny. Schmidt just said, even if your birds are loud, Andre. And then Andre said, my birds are attacking me. As soon as he said it, all of a sudden the lovebirds are attacking.
Yeah. Any, have you seen Cyborg Soldier yet?
Who?
Okay, all right. So here's the catch, right? I've been watching this. There's a movie called Cyborg Soldier, and in this one, his name is Isaac. Now, Isaac is supposedly, is connected to Christopher S. Jacobs. Isaac also, I'll send you the message one day of what he wrote. And it's in regards to, when Christopher was talking about me, Max actually got involved and because I asked about remembering, and he said yes, you were cousins and past in a soul family. We were cousins, and then we also were on missions together, and also Isaac too remembers me, Isaac remembers Danny, which Danny is the 3-year-old me who was programmed with that altar, starting with my alien abductions. And now this is what Christopher S. Jacobs was telling me through a reading. Now this was looking directly into probably he's got tower busters. He's got like wicked crystal, you know what I mean? Like he does tumbling. He creates little Yodas that are made of shungite, and it's very strong. It's very strong. I mean, this guy on me, I think it was some kind of I think shungite, you can get it in powder form, and I think he takes a bath in it. And this dude I'll tell you something. He's warned off a bunch of attacks for me. And here's the other thing that I found out about myself, which is interesting. I'm not even consciously aware, but I have bilocated right into Christopher S. Jacobs home, and his wife felt my energy, and it was me and it was Max. And there were a few other times that I told him, I have a feeling Max is going to show up. We were talking on the phone. And I mean, when Christopher did a lot for me. He did a lot for me. That would probably cost, to have, I would say, either a homeopathic, therapist or whatever, help you out. It would cost money, a lot of money. And he didn't charge me anything. And I mean, I got a ride. Yeah, I got a ride out of it. And it woke me up to a lot of things, a lot more things. But apparently I'm bilocating. And he said it was a younger me, exactly me. And I had, I believe, a dagger on my belt. And he said he gave me a high five in his kitchen.
How does that work?
Now, well, I'm not consciously aware of this. Like when I'm told this, you know what I mean? Like yes. So it definitely leads to that 24 hours of missing time is kind of really freaky to me, because how many places could they have brought me and already have brought me back? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It's crazy because they can always throw you in the time sink, and that time sink, like, and like I was saying, like, here's the weird part. I'll tell a little bit about it. I woke up after that 24 hours of missing time, and Christopher S. Jacobs said he read into it and said I was right about it. But, then again, I'm going to always question it, anything, any way. It's, no matter what, because my own mind's not going to allow me. It's going to do it anyways because it's like unbelievable. But I woke up to something that happened in Connecticut on my phone when I woke up. It was directly on my phone, and so I might have been sent on a mission, and I said that, and I don't know what unit, I don't know what faction. I'm not sure what they were, I pretty much, yeah. I'm not even gonna see. It's like I'm so like deprogrammed in a way and reprogrammed now, where I can actually explain some of these things, and it's weird because about a couple months ago I could not explain any of this stuff. I was like, and then the more I learn, it's like the more my abilities are starting to surface. And sometimes it'll freak you out. Your own ability will freak you out. Like, I flipped a lighter on a live, and my mom saw me do that with my energy. It was tilted up and everything. And my mom said, I can't believe it. I had to watch it twice. And, Andre saw it too. I like you were talking about energy in your hands, right, Jacob? My ex used to talk about how something with my hands, you know, and you know, thank God, you know, everything worked out where, you know, I was able to help her in the situation. But yes, I'm gonna not lie. We're both being targeted. Okay, it's definitely both being targeted. But I don't want it to get to a point where, if we're living in the same place and God forbid something happens and somebody gets hurt, and I don't remember what I did, you know, they won. They won. It's turned into similar, what I'd say, like a, oh man, and simulations too. I can create. I've learned to create that in people's brains that are messing with me. So I'll throw a simulation in their mind, and it'll fuck them up a little bit. Not too hard, but hey, you got to learn these tactics, because when you're dealing with this stuff and people have abilities, they have a tendency of abusing those abilities. Like right now, I literally feel like I'm on the inside of the screen of this phone. It's weird. Yeah.
Hey, CB, CB, give me. Actually, no. Just because CB's intriguing me, I'm gonna look at the timestamp on this. So it's about 12:06 my time. I'm gonna look at the timestamp on this and see if CB is being serious about this. And this is kind of what I meant. Why certain interviews will never happen. Like, even if I did it on my channel and I had control of the chat, what's to stop people from clipping it up or anything like that? Like, yeah, sure, I can shut off the clip ability and the download feature, but it doesn't stop people from recording it on their own devices, and then I gotta go flag it later. Like, it's I understand how technology works. I just don't understand, like, if you actually want to interview somebody legitly, there's ways to do it, but I just don't. I just wouldn't want to know that there was any games involved.
Right.
It's not for a gag. It's not for a laugh or anything like that. If you guys want to do it for that, then just don't want to do it.
No, this is serious stuff, guys. This is serious stuff. This is stuff that people go through, that, you know, there are people out there right now that are ready to jump off the cliff. There are people out there right now ready to just, okay. I hate, I'm not even going back to it, but I'm just going to say J6. That's it. I'm going to say it. MK Ultra, MK Ultra, MK Ultra, MK Ultra, MK Ultra, MK Ultra. All the way through. All the way through.
All right, so I got to answer this, Schmidt, because I don't know why this is a constant thing. It's not about money. I don't know why people always think I'm worried about money. Guys, I'm good with money. I'm not worried about getting paid to do a show. I'm not worried, and I don't think Rocko's worried about it either.
Jacob and Rocko. No, I'm not going on his show, man.
I just don't know why it's always proposed as, oh, maybe if we pay him the right amount of money. There's no amount of money you could pay me to do something. I'm going to do something because I want to do it or because I don't want to do it.
Me either.
Nothing to do with
I don't want the money. I'm about the truth, pal. I'm about the truth. I don't need PayPal. I don't need the money, man. I don't need it. I might tomorrow because I talk so much.
There's a common phrase on my channel. If I ever go on asking for donations, stop following me. Unsubscribe. because that's not me. Like,
Yeah.
I've never asked for donations, nor will I ever. I always told any guest that I ever have on, any donations that I get while they're on, they get half of them just because they were on with me.
I mean, granted, if you have, like, say, a paranormal company, right, and you know, build up enough, you know, like videos and viewers and subscribers because of your work. You understand what I'm saying? Like your work.
Yeah, but you're talking about livelihood compared to what we're doing.
It's not easy work at all.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about starting to travel here pretty soon. And hit a couple places. I was invited to possibly Skinwalker. Yeah. So, that's why I don't have time for shows anymore like that. Yeah, I'll get on with Jacob and talk with Jacob. I'll get on with a few people, but I am not giving my goods to anybody else, because on Pesci's show, my voice, everything will be. I know people will be taking things. I know they'll be doing. No. But the thing about the money, right, is if you have a paranormal team and people like your team and they like your shows, you come out with the T-shirt. Okay, you come out with a hat. Yeah, you sell it. Whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's okay. But you're also working, too, at the same time. You're just running a business, which, you know, you can with paranormal. But with the super soldier stuff and all of that stuff, I mean, yeah, psychic reading, stuff like that, people do charge because, yes, it is energy draining. Yes, being a psychic is real. Yes, it's real. And sometimes it's daunting. And then dealing with spirits sometimes is very daunting. It's almost like taking 100-pound weight and sticking it, or 200-pound weight and sticking it on your chest. At times, where you don't know if you're coming or you're going.
I only got about,
and there's a lot of people out there.
15 reps with 200 pounds, something like that. At least
I'm just saying, it's like, that's what I mean. The breathing, this is serious work. Like, but it needs to be done because, people are there's some weird stuff going on in the. It's not all what everybody says it is. It's not. There's other missions going on. I found out that I was a part of some base in China, an American base, and something going on out there. There's a connection there. I haven't really gotten into that. I was also trained by Christopher S. Jacobs to be remote view. But it's always finding the target. It's always finding the target. And, my friend went to a psych ward and I warned him and he stepped on a nail. But I basically remote viewed exactly which part of the facility he was going to go into. It was right by a vent, and there was, I think, a hole, like a huge hole in the wall. It's an original, it's like an old psychiatric center on the eastern end of Long Island. Very haunted. I have been punched, I have been slapped, kicked, pushed, scratched, and there was a kid that got locked in a room. He went in and the door slammed shut. right on him, and the cops had to come get him out. And he was arrested. He was arrested for going on, they don't want you there. There's a reason that they don't want people at these haunted places. And I don't know why. I mean, you could pay to go to a lot of these places. The psych ward or the base?
Are they one and the same, or are they on the same compound, or how does that work?
I haven't really spoken with Sean on it fully yet. It's something that you would say unpack. But it is going to hit me in a way where that will take me a day or two to recover from. So
that's the most interesting thing to me.
You recover to a point where I can say.
Schmidt just gave an awesome example. The reason I like talking to Schmidt is because he's actually interested in these topics. He won't do it in front of other people, and he'll only cover certain topics if other people are talking about them. But because he doesn't want to, he also doesn't want to come off like he's interested in these topics. He knows about the fake moon landing. He knows about different other conspiracies. But I'm just saying he follows conspiracies, and
I know.
He tries to act like he doesn't do it at the same time. He actually has a deep knowledge of. When I first met Schmidt, I fucking hated the guy because he just sat there and talked shit, and I didn't understand his demeanor at the time. And as soon as I met him and got to talk to him for a little bit, I was like, all right, he's not as bad. I almost banned him the first day I met him, and I immediately almost got rid of him. And for some reason, me and him hit it off, and he actually does have a lot of interest in the same things that me and you talk about a lot. Surprisingly, that's why I wish Schmidt did his own show, because I guarantee it would be wrestling and conspiracies. That's all it would be. He doesn't. Well, and maybe cooking. He'd have a whole nother channel for cooking stuff too, because he does a lot of cooking stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no. What was the question now?
But he was asking if you were talking about Lechtworth Village.
Base, or is he talking about the facility on Long Island?
If you heard that, Schmidt. Yeah,
or a facility?
That's your question, Schmidt, if you heard it. You're talking about the facility or a specific building, or...
No. I'm talking about Kings Park Psychiatric Center. There's also something called the Montauk Boys Tunnel to Hell. There's lights still on in that one as well. And I actually was brought to Sagamore when I was a child at 12 years old. I want to say it was around, I think it was 12. It had to have been before they closed, because I was very angry. And
I know what
parents don't always
about. The one that Schmidt's talking about is the one that news reporter broke, Geraldo Rivera, or I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah. But I heard some. I heard something was going on with some kind of like that, and I was like, wow. Finally people are catching on, thank God. the more we catch on football,
I told him I was going to tell him he's got the wrong balls in front of that.
the
Front
more
of that
we
word.
catch on to these
Round.
things and expose them. So yeah, might be doing MT. When is it? Next year, if all goes well.
Next when?
And look, and if you hear this, I have no ill will towards you. Let's just drop the, drama and fighting with one another and teaming this one up against this one. And, no, let's do the work. Let's do what we're supposed to do as soldiers. Look, I apologize that it didn't work out, okay? That's all I can do. But I got massively attacked, and that might not, it don't have necessarily anything to do with you. It has to do with me, what's going on with the inner me. I don't mean any harm towards you. If I said anything rude or nasty, I apologize, but it was the moment, and that's it. I have no ill will towards you. Christopher S. Jacobs, same thing, man. Same thing. You've done nothing but help me. Don't think I don't remember that. I do. We need to move on from the drama, and we need to kick ass is what we need to do. That's it, plain and simple. We got a documentary to do next summer, man, doing clearing Junior's spot. I can't wait for that, man. I want that to happen so bad. I want to clear Junior from out there. I want to try to move him on. I spoke with Christopher about that because he does that cleansing, and he claims if we get Junior by he claims if we get him in a certain place, like we're gonna bury crystals. He said he's gonna bury some crystals there, and you know what I mean? Stuff to make the land, right?
Mm-hmm.
More pure. Understand what I'm saying? And people are going to walk around and they're going to feel less of being trapped inside either a simulation, if you want to call it, a vortex. We want to try to dead that vortex. So we got to clear, Junior. Junior has to go. He's got to go somewhere, I feel. And if he's interdimensional, then there's a chance that he might actually be able to go to another dimension. So that would probably require a portal. A portal.
If it could release him from the one that he's in, that would be helpful for the situation.
Well, that's what we were planning on doing. Hopefully, we still are. Christopher Jacobs. I'm still for it, man. I was happy when you were talking about it, but all this stuff happened. But at the end of the day, it's like we're all still alive. We're here. We're here. And we can live another day.
I gotta say what Schmidt said. He said it was Hudson Valley. They would pull the teeth of Down syndrome people, etc., in just awful conditions. Letchworth Village.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Letchworth. Now coming, yeah. I'll tell you, but New York has some really bad psychiatric centers. really bad.
Well, I mean, in the past, they used to be all over the country.
No, I do not sleep with any kind of crystal under my pillow. I have a friend that did that, and she lost her mind forever, gone. No, I don't play around like that. No, 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 no. Uh-uh. The only thing that's close, well, was close, was my dagger at the time. I will be ordering a new one. And that's the only reason being is it can go in the astral with you, and so it doesn't really attach itself, and it's selenite. But yeah, I would not put the rose quartz underneath my pillow. No, nope. And my friend who did it, she's still not here. Like
Hey,
that.
Rocco,
That's playing with.
I gotta jump in for just a minute because I have a guest in the background that hasn't been on in forever. Real nice guy. I don't know if you remember him. You might have remembered from some of the earlier shows we did. It's before we ever met Pesci or Jake Hudson or any of those guys, actually. But I want to introduce you, if you haven't met him, to Brett from Brett Worship's channel. And Brett's just the nicest guy. All he does is goes on and worships God, and just a great dude. Sings songs for everybody. Works like what, 3 jobs, Brett? Work your ass off. I know that much. 2 now. Okay, because it probably because of the season. When the fall and winter come around, do you pick up that other job still?
No.
No. Oh, okay. But yeah, Brett's a good kid, man. I've known him for a while. I'm surprised to see you back over here, Brett. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
What why'd you desert me?
I didn't.
I'm just joking with you.
I lost my grandpa Saturday. My grandpa passed.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. How are you dealing with it? What are you doing to strengthen yourself up with it? Do you know he's in a better
Man,
place?
that's like
He's
man.
experiencing the best thing he can in the afterlife?
He's in a better place. He's not hurting. And yeah.
Well, all of our prayers are with you, man. I'm not a religious guy, but my
Yeah.
prayers are with my blessings are with you. Whatever good positive energy I can send your way is going that way for sure.
I'm doing a
Yep.
donation for the funeral
Same.
service. So
Are you putting together some words for it, or
I'm just helping my aunt out. So
gotcha?
she doesn't have to pay it all.
Yeah, dude, it's a tough time to go through for anybody. I can relate. I lost my cousin,
Yeah.
uncle, and my grandma all in the same month when I was 16 years old. And it was the weirdest month. And you're not even gonna believe this. 2 weeks before 9/11 happened. All of that happened around the same time, and I just thought my whole world was ending. But it actually made me a stronger person. I knew all the people that
Yeah.
left me were in a better place, and they were doing better. And all I can do is wish you the best, man. It's something you're gonna have to go through yourself, of course, and you're gonna have to battle it yourself. But all I can do is give you my best wishes and tell you there's definitely a brighter side once you get through it too.
Yeah.
For sure.
But hey, if anybody doesn't know who Brett is, I want you guys to go check out his channel. What do you got? Like 2 million subscribers by now? I know this man's
Not
been
even.
don't even lie. You got 3 times as many as me.
No.
But Brett does good stuff, man. I've always liked Brett. He's a really genuine guy, and I honestly appreciate you coming on and being serious with us like that and telling us kind of what was going on with you personally, because that takes a lot just to do something like that. I appreciate that.
1.11K.
Yeah, man.
Oh, he's dropping the big numbers.
And I have 1.2K videos.
Nice, man. I'm glad to hear that. No, I'm glad to see you're still growing. I stop in your videos every once in a while. I'm usually doing it on my cell phone, so I can't usually comment. But yeah, I tune into a lot of your videos. I've been following Triple C for a while too. Ever since I met her on your channel, she's always been really nice. The crocheting lady that's into Christ. That's how I always think of her. She's the crocheting Christ lady. She's a beautiful lady as well.
She only lives an hour away from me.
I haven't seen you do many crocheting videos lately.
The last time I crocheted, I don't know how long it was.
But I saw a few of your regular band concerts that you do every year. I saw that come up again.
Yeah.
I saw
The
you
fifth
do your church worship videos as well.
Yeah.
Like live from church, rather than the ones that you usually do when you're singing
Yeah.
in your room.
I can't do that anymore because I work every Saturday.
So you gotta have to take some time off.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man. It's for a good reason. It's for a good reason. If I think like immediately it feels like a bad reason, but it's a good reason because you know all the benefits coming from it. The person's in a better place, and you're sending them off there the best you can. You're sending all your best wishes and best guidance, and they've just, given you whatever knowledge they can in their lifetime, and you can only be appreciative of the time you had with that person. I mean, you can't dwell on the time you can't spend together. You gotta dwell on the more than enough time that you guys got to spend together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to invite you on a little bit, man, because I was actually getting ready to wrap up here pretty soon. I'm already a half hour over when I was going to go, but I saw Brett back there, and I haven't seen Brett in a while, and I had to bring him on. I wasn't even doing an open panel tonight, but Brett's just such a nice guy, and I knew Rocko would appreciate Brett's company as well. He's got good energy to him.
Yeah. For sure.
He's one of the.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna take off myself.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna do the same here. We're about at the 12:30 mark at my end, probably a little past that. So I appreciate everybody coming on. Brett, I'm gonna send blessings and prayers your way. Rocko, thank you so much for coming on tonight, man. And I will talk to everybody soon. You guys have a beautiful rest of your evening.
Anytime, man. You too.